Italy bade farewell to former Premier Silvio Berlusconi with a state funeral inside Milan's imposing Duomo Cathedral. More at townhall.com.
Hey, Peanuts! Welcome to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show, a Wednesday night show that features the sports opinions of the fans sitting up in peanut heaven. This show airs Wednesday nights here on Beaver County Radio, and it is brought to you by TEK Roofing Specialist in Elwood City. The phone lines are open at 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. Now, let's introduce your host for the show, Scott Kincaid and Bryan Pasquale.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show, brought to you by TAMKO Building Supplies and TEK Roofing Specialist. Also here on 99.3 WBVP and 95.7 WNBA. You can reach us out at Beaver County Facebook Live and beavercountyradio.com. Please check us out. Comment, please. We'd like to get all the comments. We need some feedback. Definitely would love some more feedback on TEK Roofing. It's been a busy week. The weather's really nice. I know you're putting off that project. Let's get it done. Give me a call, 412-969-1167. And let's get into sports.
What do you want to talk about? The first place Buccos?
Well, yeah.
The first place Buccos.
This is fun. I mean, there's the realistic person in all of us. Don't you agree that says, okay, I'm just not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. We got to get closer to, or get a bigger lead, or show a little bit more something. But I mean, we're still in first place, and right now is the deciding moments, I think, in baseball for us, because we're playing division. We'll play. Didn't play well last night.
No,
but the Brewers lost. So it seems like when we lose, they lose. The Reds aren't losing. The pesky little Reds, or they're creeping up a little bit, but we seem to handle them, if I remember correctly. We did a pretty good job handling them, so when they come back, I'm not as worried about them, but then teams change. So, like the Oakland A's, I have to mention them. I know I was going to wait a little later, but it's an intriguing story to me. They have 50 losses when they came to see us. We beat them one game, right?
Yep. Well, they had 49 losses. We gave them their 50th loss, and then
correct. And they haven't lost since. And so what changed? So it was because they played really good teams. They swept the Brewers. They beat us 2 games and swept the Brewers, and they won 2 games against Tampa Bay, which they, on paper, shouldn't even show up. They should just concede the game before they even got there. And on top of everything else, they're selling out. Like, over 28,000 people are going to these games, and I'm trying to figure out on the baseball team, like, the basic, what did you do on the field? Other than, like, there's some Billy Bean type of secret that he's not told us about, and he's getting people on base differently or whatever it is. But then I also looked at the big picture in Oakland is they're going to go to Vegas, and there's been a movement in Oakland to keep the team there. Show your support. Keep the team here. Find somebody to buy the team here. There's a big movement, and the city's showing up. And when they showed up, what happened? They've won 7 in a row, and they look like you don't want to play them. Now, I know I've talked to a lot of people that are in baseball about this, and they all say, well, it's streaks. The whole game streaks. So they're going to fall back off, and it won't matter. But it does matter, I think. The hidden secret to me is the 28,000 people are showing up, and they're helping their team win. And I don't think we get that kind of support here in Pittsburgh like we should. We're in first place, not last place. So how come we not show up more? And I think the team is recognizing it. Andrew McCutchen is offered, or they're making it a McCutchen deal because his number's 22, right?
Yeah.
I think this is a PR move, but the way I read it, it made it sound like Andrew McCutchen was giving you a break. So, because it's 22, but 2 tickets for $22 at the next homestand, the next 3 games at home against the Cubs, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I've already bought 2 tickets for Wednesday. Well, I bought 3 tickets for Wednesday game, and I got one other guy going with me, and I got a ticket available. So you guys out there on Facebook, I'd like to take somebody, and I'll even take you, Brian, because you won't go.
No, I won't.
You won't go, and you're not a small percentage of Pittsburgh Pirate fans because you're a Pirates fan.
Absolutely, I root for the players.
Don't understand this. So you're a Pirates fan, but you won't go to the game because you don't want to give the guy any money. Right. But I'm buying. So I'm buying the ticket, and it's really cheap. He's not making a penny off of this, really. And I'm going to buy you a hot dog, and I'm going to buy you a Coke. So you get that. So anybody that hasn't been to a game since Nutting took the helm and made everybody sour, first person to call in, I'll take you to the game. It's 12:35 on Wednesday, week from today. I'd love to get to, have you out at the game. Granted, the seats are in the outfield. So
are they in peanut heaven?
They are. I've never sat there.
It's fitting for the show.
It is. I need to get that perspective.
We need to sit.
I need to get that perspective because This is the name of the show, but I always try to get the better seats because they're really not that expensive if you want to get better seats because nobody goes. The seats become available because nobody's going. They're not selling them. 28,000 people start showing up. I imagine Bob Knight's going to raise the price and you won't get 2 tickets for $22, but you might because it might promote people to come in and buy the $12 Coke and the $25 beer.
Well, you said there was 28,000 at the A's game, and I don't know if they were supporting the team, to be honest with you, because they were so loud when their pitcher was on the mound that he could not even hear the pitch calls into his ear. So it was like an away football game where it's 3rd and short and your left tackle false starts because the away crowd's so loud. They actually did it to themselves at the game. It was pretty crazy. There had to be a timeout called, and they went and checked his earpiece, and the crowd was so loud.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a sell the team chant going on?
Oh, yeah, sell the team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what the movement is, to sell the team to somebody who will keep it here instead of the owner moving to Vegas. They want the owner to sell the team to somebody and keep it in Oakland. They don't want to go to Vegas.
Yeah, but when you're chanting sell the team, that's not how it comes across. It's not like they have a positive game plan that says, because you can't
Let's
chant,
go, Brandon.
We want you to sell the team to someone we like. You can't do that. Right. And by the way, you know what their attendance was the night before they had 27,000?
I have no idea.
4,848. That was 2 nights ago. Last night
so this doesn't really reflect the 7-game winning streak.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I thought maybe the story was hidden underneath.
And it's not even their lowest total of the season, if you can believe that. Their lowest total of the season,
I can imagine it's terrible.
It is, if I'm looking correctly, Monday, May 15th of this year, 2023. They hosted the Diamondbacks on a Monday night, 2,064 paid attendance.
So that doesn't even mean that they all showed up. That was just the paid attendance.
Wow. That's including season ticket holders who were trying to sell the tickets and couldn't, and no one went.
Do you remember the movie?
A lot of people.
Major League. Okay.
Yes.
So when the ex-showgirl wife took over the team because her husband died, and she wanted attendance to go down so bad that she could move the team to Miami.
Oh, I do remember that.
Now, do you think this is similar, where Vegas is going to offer him a new stadium and all this and all that, versus staying in Oakland, and he's doing the Rachel Phelps move to Miami?
That seems like the plan.
That does seem reasonable. It's very Hollywood. Obviously, the ideas our thinking the ideas come straight out of a 1980s movie. So
yeah. It's just now it's in real life, and it's not as fascinating. It's just sad.
And I don't think he's as cute as Rachel Phelps.
Well, that too.
I mean, I know that I feel sorry for the people of Oakland, kind of. I don't know if you've ever been to Oakland.
It's hard to, though, whenever,
But I'm happy for the people in the athletics organization who finally get to work. Like, I don't know. I've lived in Vegas, too. I've been to both places.
Yeah.
I lived in Vegas. That's another monster, too. But I would think I don't know. It's a give or take. Oakland's right next to San Francisco. So if you worked in Oakland, it's 30 minutes or an hour.
What year was it? Was it the late 80s when the San Francisco was playing Oakland in the World Series, and there was the
earthquake?
The earthquake.
1989, yes.
I do remember
I think that was the year Major League came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
All ties together.
Who were they playing?
Oakland, San Francisco.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
Battle
that's
of the Bay.
right.
Right.
Right. Battle of the Bay.
Yeah, and I think it was the A's sweeping that series, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the Rusa athletics of Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco and the Batch brothers.
All right, so we changed the subject here. We're going to go back to the Pirates because we are a Pirates fan.
Well, I mean, the Pirates are in a very similar situation to Oakland, to be honest with you. I don't think they'd ever leave this city, but maybe Oakland thought that as well. But we have similar payrolls and have for decades now.
Right. Of nothing.
Right.
4 decades of nothing.
Right.
1 MVP, which, we haven't mentioned it. It's a long week. It was very exciting to see Kutch get 2,000. He's still one double away from 300 doubles. He's reaching these milestones in a Pirates uniform, and I love to see that. So it's great to see what he's bringing still. When we haven't had anything bad to say about him really since the beginning of the season. So
Yeah, he took last night's game off, so I would assume we're going to see him tonight and tomorrow for sure.
I wonder if his value up in the head office is like, hey, maybe we'll give him a little more next year if he wants to stay, or whether or not another team might go, you know what, they're not going to pay him, but we'll pay him, and maybe he jumps ship again. I don't know.
I have a theory.
Because if he's that good, he's worth the money, and there's other teams that would love to have what he's producing now.
Right.
Or can he only produce it here because that's where he loves to be and it's his family and it's the only chemistry that works? He's not going to work in San Diego because he's away from his family and he doesn't bring that production, and that's reflective of that? Probably so, right?
Well, he's not going anywhere. This is my prediction, and this is 5 to 10 years out, so bear with me here. I'm going to predict that Andrew McCutchen will be the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates at some point in his life. Especially if ownership does not change. I think the city loves him that much and the ownership loves him that much that if that's a path that he would want to go, I think that he would get every opportunity to do that.
Great players, you just never know if they're going to become coaches or not. Some of them have it in them, some of them don't.
Yeah, he could go into broadcasting. He could just retire and enjoy his life. He could go a million different directions. But I think that if he chooses to, that could be a direction that he could go. He's a brilliant mind in baseball.
He's got a great presence in front of the camera. I could see him pulling a Tony Romo, too. I would love to hear him broadcast or be a guy on the TV.
Him and Neil Walker in the booth together.
Oh, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? So, got a big game tonight. I still like our chances against the Cubs. It is at Wrigley Field. There was a rain delay last night. I didn't start till even later, which for you guys that stay up late or work in the morning, it's tough being a Pirates fan when they're on the road. And I'm sure that's for every baseball fan across the country when their team goes on the road. You just have
unless
to
you
deal
live
with
on the
that
West
schedule.
Coast and you are the late night game.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're on the West Coast and your team's playing over here, you have to listen to the game live. But it starts an hour before or right at punching the clock. You don't even really get it. You don't really get to get set up. It messes up your whole life.
Yeah, you figure the A's fans listening to that 9-5 loss last Wednesday, that would have started like 9 o'clock in the morning for them. So some of them are eating their breakfast watching the A's put up 7 runs in the first inning.
This is part of the stuff we were talking about last week and the week before about why they want to restructure it. Because they want to make it better for us fans and for players and travel and all that and do a little bit less of travel and restructure. Again, we have a couple of years to see how that pans out. But anyhow, tonight's big game, we got a new pitcher that we brought up. He's a young kid, right?
Yes.
You did the research. I tried to do some research. I couldn't get anything on him other than young kid that throws fast, right? Those fastballs.
He's like the mystery man. There is like no information on this guy. It is impossible to find out anything about him.
I saw he struck out 9 people in one outing, about a week ago?
His ERA
in the minor leagues.
His ERA in the minor leagues is 4.55, which is not very impressive. So, they got to bring the bats tonight. Give him some run support, give him some run support early so that he's not up there nervous. He knows he doesn't have to throw a perfect pitch every time.
I didn't get a chance to see the lineup. McCutchen wasn't playing last night. Is he playing tonight?
They usually don't give the line. They have to give the lineups 1 hour before the game. So we're not even at that point. Now, sometimes they give it earlier than that. So I don't really know
I was looking at
the lineup yet.
It's
Maybe
been a
by the
busy
end of the
day.
show we'll know the lineup.
Yeah, we'll probably know the lineup in, I would probably say about an hour or so. We'd know what the
What would
lineup
you
is.
say is the biggest key? I mean, we talk about all these things. The biggest key to their recent success.
Scoring more than the other team.
No. I mean, what player do you think has the bigger impact right now? Who's finally coming around? It's
Brian Hayes. Yeah,
There you
absolutely.
go. Finally showing up. We don't pay a lot, but he's the second highest paid Pirate in history. So it's nice to see him trying to turn the bats around.
Mm-hmm.
Like to see Brian Riddles turn up the notch a little bit more. And then when they do this, you find that all of a sudden, Jus1More, all of a sudden his bat. It's funny how that works. When the big bats hit, the little bats all of a sudden come alive. And then the
Zawinski's hitting
pitches
him out of
fall
the
apart.
park. He had 2 home runs last night again.
16?
I think he's up to 15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for this section of the year. You're looking at
Mhm.
what? Probably
So he's
35,
beating his
40.
30.
He's on pace.
Yeah.
We're on pace
Mid-30s.
for, what are we on pace for? Did you do the math
Wins?
on that? Yeah, win.
Something in the 80s. I'd have to do it
Yeah.
during the break.
If we like mirror what we've done so far, there's 65 games in, so right, 65 games in,
Yeah.
right, so that's 140 games.
Yeah.
No, 130 games. 130 games. And then, so there's 32 games. If you split that, then we get 86 wins. So I'm falling a little short. So I'm expecting them to pull a couple more out. Hopefully tonight's one of them. I count every game, even though it's not. It's a long season, and it's a very short roofing season. When winter comes around, you look back and you go, "Hey, I didn't put my roof on," and now it's cold, and now there's ice, and now the roofer wants more money, or he's just on vacation. But I'm not. I work year round in the winter. That's why you call me TEK Roofing Specialist. 412-969-1167. Been proudly putting on TAMKO Titan XT shingles this year. It's wind resistance of 160 mile an hour. They just don't make shingles like that right now. That's the state of the line stuff. So make sure you give us a call and call in 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888, and we'll be back.
TEK Roofing Specialist are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialist will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like TAMKO's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160 mile per hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialist, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
For the 13th year, eyes in Beaver County will turn to the skies on Saturday, June 24th for Push Beaver County's Beaver County Boom. Beaver County Boom is presented by Visit Beaver County, and it's bigger and better than ever. There will be skydivers, and both Air Heritage Vintage military airplanes will fly over, followed by the star of the show, Beaver County Boom, at 9:45 p.m. It all takes place over the Ohio River between Monaca and Rochester. Bring your radio along or listen to your smart device to the Beaver County Presley Ridge live broadcast on Beaver County Radio beginning at 6. Title presenter sponsor of Beaver County Boom is Visit Beaver County. Bronze sponsors include Arthur M. Brandt, MD, PhD, the Borough of New Brighton, Clearview Federal Credit Union, Gary J. Havranek, OD, Knoll Funeral Home, Riverside Bed and Breakfast, Rowe Monument, West Aircom Federal Credit Union, and West Banco Bank, among others. Don't miss Beaver County Boom Saturday, June 24th.
Tune in to Live Mike with Mike Romai, presented by Heritage Valley Health System, weekdays from 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's an all-new show on Beaver County Radio, where Mike discusses the issues important to Beaver County. There's also special guests, weather, sports with Matt Durzick, and news every half hour with Curtis Walsh. So tune in to Live Mike with Mike Romai, weekdays, right here on Beaver County Radio.
When it comes to a shingle performing in high winds, what's more important, the sealant or the nail line? With Titan XT, it doesn't matter. You'll get one of the toughest nail line reinforcements available with TAMKO's proprietary anchor lock layer, combined with one of the best shingle sealants on the market, with Titan XT's advanced fusion sealant, which inspired an industry-first WindGuard warranty that offers coverage up to 160 miles per hour. Learn more about Titan XT, designed with extreme technology to perform under extreme conditions at tamco.com/Titan XT.
Hey, Peanuts!
Are we back?
Here we are.
All right, welcome back, guys. You've been listening to 99.3 WBBP and 95.7 WNBA. We're on BeaverCountyRadio.com. We're also on Facebook Live. Make sure you go on there and give us some likes, give us some shares, get us out there. I didn't make it tonight, unfortunately. I had other pressing business, but Brian was able to go to the Jus1More Sports Bar. I'm going to go there afterwards, so if you guys want to come out there, say hi to me. I'd love to meet some of my fans. Everybody's laughing. I have fans.
I'm sure you do.
Did you say fan or fans?
Fans.
Oh, okay.
Multiple. Yes, that aren't related.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyhow, tell us about Sports Bar.
All right. So tomorrow is Wing Night, 42 flavors. Friday, they have Fish Friday, and I heard it's the best fish in the county.
Oh.
So go down and check that out. Saturday night, and this is interesting. I don't know if you're a husband or a boyfriend and your girlfriend or wife might be interested, but there is a Sip and Shop Ladies Night Saturday night. They have Honeybee Boutique, Pappy's handcrafted candles, giveaways all night. And then on Monday, they have DJ Trivia at 7:30. So check out Jus1More Sports Bar.
Is it Busy Bee? Busy Bee DJ?
Busy Bee
on the
DJ,
karaoke?
on the karaoke on Friday. On Fish
I
Friday.
heard he has every song. Like I'm going to challenge it, but I karaoke. Because I'd probably go in there and go, you have Rocky Top, and they're like, yeah. And then I have to get up and
if
sing
he has
it.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, then I might be interested.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Sir Mix-a-Lot and his one song that people know.
Right.
I travel a lot. I got a little helper. He's like 23. He has his own music, but he says, because I don't sometimes I'll just use the phone.
Spotify or something?
Whatever, you can just listen. It's kind of like I don't know. It's an app. I use
like a Spotify.
Right, so I can just look up whatever I want. And so hey, play some of that old stuff again, man. I love that stuff. Play something old. So
You said he's 23?
Yeah, he's 23. You met him today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Jonah.
Me and my Poison Ivy.
He's a nice kid. He's very naive, very vulnerable to the ways of the world.
Well, I was when I was 23 too.
Somebody hacked his Facebook and somehow well, you know what? I'm not going to put his business out.
All right.
But I did I downloaded and listened to, I'm going to throw some old music out there at you. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
I went to a concert where they were there, and they were supposed to be the headliners, but was it Real Big Fish took off that summer, and they became the headliners. And it was I don't know if it was the Warped Tour or whatever they called it back then.
Yeah.
But that was a good show.
They don't make music like that anymore. And they don't play it on the radio much. Fishbone. Then he wanted to listen to old rap. So can you guess what I put on? Old rap now.
No, I can't guess.
Houdini. Run DMC.
Okay.
Oh, the real old school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Godfather
ask
hip-hop.
for old school, what am I going to play? Eminem? No.
It could be considered old school.
It is.
Not to my 53-year-old, but
We'll talk to my 17-year-old daughter, or she's gonna be 17
right.
here coming up. But yeah, she doesn't listen to. But she has her own playlist and everything.
I'm a 13-year-old. He listens to Journey, Fleetwood Mac. All that stuff.
That's good.
He's into the old stuff, though. Anyway, we should get back to sports. I'm sure
We
people
should.
don't want to hear us talk
Yeah.
about knick-knack stuff too much.
So, the Pirates first place, but they're only one game in front of Milwaukee and only 2.5 in front of the Reds.
Right. Reds didn't lose last night.
No,
So that's how they gained.
the Reds
Everybody
are,
else lost. Cubs and the Reds won.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Yeah, the Cardinals are starting to be bad again, which
Right.
I'm perfectly fine with.
Absolutely.
But the Reds, they're doing the best right now. They've won 7 out of their last 3.
And you said they
Or
called
7
up
out
a
of their
young
last
kid?
10. Yeah, Ellie De La Cruz, 21 years old, 6'5".
Yes.
The dude he played his first game last week, I want to say. Hit his first home run last week, and it was about 3 rows away from clearing the ballpark in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Jeez. That young. I can't remember the last time the Pirates called up somebody anywhere near that young.
No, I can't either.
Garrett
I think
Cole
they're
was
just
kind of young.
overloaded with talent. They're just so overloaded with talent, and they brought this guy up instead of the people everybody else is interested in, and instead of bringing up Henry Davis and players like that,
Andy Rodriguez,
Quinn Piercy, so all these other they're on the market, I think, because I think he's got to have these tools in play if it comes to the trade deadline. They want to go after a pitcher. I mean, we know Mitch Keller is a good pitcher, but he had that little stint, and then he looks a little better. He's still our best pitcher in the rotation, but I still think you need a more pitching because, I mean, it was 3-3 at one point last night, and then boom, the pitching just fell apart.
Moretta.
If you can put up 3 runs and they don't score any because you have good pitching, then they had the bats. Old school baseball, 3-0 is the way you win. And I know it's new school baseball because of the steals and the pitch clock and the runs are higher, but I think you still need more pitching. And who do you think? So who are they going to go after in the deadline? I mean, when it comes to the deadline, or the draft, not the deadline, the draft.
When is the draft?
It's coming right around the corner. So
because that's the big decision.
July 9th?
There's a stud pitcher out there, and there's also a stud outfielder. And that's the debate. Do you go after the pitcher or do you go after the hitter? Because the hitter plays every day, but it's hard to get – when you're a small market team, it's hard to bring in a good pitcher from outside unless he's, had injuries and you're trying to, reestablish his
career. They just
career.
don't do that. And last time they did it, they ate the bullet, right? They just totally kicked themselves in the rear when they did the Chris Archer deal, and they don't want to do that again. So they're not going to go after a pitcher. I think they're going to go for the pitcher in the draft, and maybe they can deal for another pitcher, but they're not going to make a mistake. So they got to get somebody from a team.
Did you say they're not going to make a mistake?
All right.
What in their track record?
Stevenson.
Believe that.
Stevenson was a good trade. We got rid of him, and he blew it for – where'd he go? He went to Tampa?
Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's the one that blew the game for him last night.
So, yeah.
He blew it for us. That's why we got rid of him. He was blowing it for us in the middle of that losing streak.
Yeah, so to answer your questions, it is July 9th.
Okay.
And the looking at Major League Baseball's prospect rankings for the draft, there's only 3 pitchers in the top 10. That's it. You have Rhett Lauder from Wake Forest at number 8. You have Chase Dollander from Tennessee, guys, at number 6. And at number 2, you have Paul Skenis from LSU. Everybody else is a batter, including 4 out of the top 5 being outfielders, including another LSU person, Dylan Cruz, at number 1. And that's a name that a lot of Pirate fans have been sort of saying, like, oh, the Pirates are going to get Dylan Cruz. Like, maybe they will.
Right.
I don't think, as long as they get the top pitching prospect or the top everyday player prospect, I don't care which way they go. Just don't get somebody else because you think you can sign them to some chintzy deal.
Yeah.
I just hope we get like a good 4 or 5 innings out of this kid tonight, and it's solid. I don't care if he becomes super fantastic. And the first time they pitch, these kids, when they come up, they usually threaten no-hitters or they fall all apart, one or the other. I just wanted like a mediocre performance of 4 or 5 innings, solid pitching, and then we pull you out because we have a 5-0 lead, and that's don't wear your arm out. It's just a good cup of coffee.
If he's like any other Pirate debuts in the past, here's what's going to happen. This guy, Osvaldo Bido, I think his name, or Bido. He is going to pitch a 7-inning, 2-hit gem tonight in his debut.
That's what
he will finish the year 3-10.
There you go. That's what I remember too. That's kind of how that works.
Who was it that did that? I feel like it was
same kid that beat us last night.
Not Tyon.
When he came up, he threw a gem, and then he fell off. They even sent him back down, then they brought him back up, and
he
then
had
they
all
sold
kinds
him.
of health issues though. tie on.
Right,
it.
but that's who you're thinking of, because he threw the big major gym first time up. They actually brought him up, and then they sent him right back down, and then they had to bring him back up because people complained so much. Like, why?
Yeah, but there was someone a couple years ago that made their debut out of nowhere, became a mainstay in the rotation for a few years, and was just never good again. I forget who it was. I'll have to look at.
Yeah, look that up. It's funny.
I had a bad feeling last night when I saw Jameson Tye was taking the mound against us, because I always think revenge games. You always want to beat that team that lets you go, even though, like you said, it's a good thing for him. He got more money. He finally got paid.
Mm-hmm.
But he's obviously probably was expected to beat this team because he came from there, so forth. I don't know. I just had a bad feeling at the beginning, and then the rain delay, I didn't like that. For us, as far as traveling, and then a late game. Hopefully they got some rest and got settled in today, and are going to be good to go. There's no weather problems, looks like, tonight in Chicago. So
Well,
this
we'll
should go
see.
off without a hitch at 8.
On the way up here, I was talking to my friend, and he's a Philadelphia Phillies fan. He's lives out in the eastern side of PA, and he was asking me questions about pitchers and what's going on, because I believe for 3 years the Phillies only have 4 starting pitchers in their rotation. On the 5th day, they've been going like with the bullpen because they can't even find a 5th starter.
Right.
And I said, that's funny that you brought that. I said, we're bringing up this guy who's never pitched before in the majors, and we're going to see how it goes.
Right.
So,
I mean, this is also a time, too. Like you say, he could pitch a gym, but I mean, it's fun to watch. What if he doesn't pitch a gym? He goes tank, and they pull him early because they don't want to destroy his ego or his psyche.
Yeah.
You know, and so they pull him out, and then next thing you know, we just got rid of Chris Ewing or Owing.
Chris Owings, yeah.
Right. He was our position player pitcher. Who's going to be our position pitcher? I don't know who would be the next one up if we had to go there tonight. I think they're just going to leave somebody out there to suffer in the bullpen till it's over.
Probably.
That's what they'll probably do.
But then you never know. You might find a gem in one of your position players. You never know.
well,
By the way, the name I was looking up, Nick Kingham.
Kingham.
Yes. I do remember that name.
First game he pitched for the Pirates, April 29th, 2018. 7 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts on 98 pitches, and he picked up his first major league career win. And the fact that we all had to remember him to get there just shows how everything else went since.
Right.
Well, it's funny. I was trying to look up because earlier we were seeing if McCutchen was in the lineup. He is batting leadoff tonight.
That's awesome.
And he's DHing. You got Reynolds, left field, Connor Joe, right field, Santana, first base, Hayes, third base, Zawinski. Got to keep his bat in there, center field, Castro, shortstop, Matthias, second base, and the guy without a baseball bat, Hedges, catching. But it's funny because I was looking up that, and the first thing that pops up was the pitching matchup, and there's not even a picture.
There's not.
I did see a picture of him, though. I saw a picture of him. He's a little skinny lad. He's a little bit wiry and a little tall, right?
I think he has long hair, right?
Yeah, I think he's 6'3", I want to say, or
Yeah.
6'1".
He's a little skinny. He kind of, he has an O'Neill Cruz look about him. He's also from the Dominica. So maybe, that's a good sign. I can't find, we were talking about the percentage of Dominicans that play in the league, and then you look at the performance of the Dominicans over the rest of the league, and you got to go, boy, you got you a Ferrari, maybe, and not a Dodge, so to speak.
Well, I wonder how in the Dominican, and hopefully when Joel comes on the show in July, he can go over this, but just the coaching at such a young level down there has to be fantastic if they're producing all these Major League Baseball players.
Yeah.
Got to be. It's that, and then it's culture. A lot of it has to do with culture. The kids are raised at a young age. This is how you do it, and this is what you do, and everybody plays, and that's what they do. That fills the time. That baseball practice is time for mom to clean house or cook dinner. You go out there and you play ball. Everybody does it. It becomes a culture, and when you have it like that, then you get performance because it's repetition and practice, and all of a sudden you see talent and performance develop right in front of you at a young age. Talent is just not, I can't say that.
I remember
my son could hit a ball on a golf ball when he was 4, and now he hits one farther than me. He's 13. So he had a little bit of talent right off the bat. But if I didn't take him all the time, he wouldn't be hitting it farther than me.
Well, my dad, a New Brighton native here, he would get home from work, and maybe there was rush hour traffic. He would drive across the city, and I would end up being 5-10 minutes late for practice sometimes just because. And he was one of the coaches, and then he'd make me run laps because I was late, and he took me. Thanks, Dad.
There you go.
That is,
and his thought was, well, it's not fair to the other kids that might come late, and I make them run laps just because it's my fault. It's still your fault.
yeah.
He should have ran them with you, though.
He might
was
have.
late.
Or at the very least,
He might.
give you, just privately get you ice cream after the game. Just be like, listen, I did what to do that, but I had to do that.
Oh, no. I would
This
go.
is going to hurt me more than it hurts
I would
you,
go 4 for
Brian.
6 with a home run, a double, and I'd strike out once, and all I'd hear about on the ride home was the strikeout.
That sounds
Oh,
about
yeah.
right. That definitely sounds about right. By the way, one last thing about the Pirates. The one interesting thing from last night's game is the first inning home runs came off of Jack Sawinski and Ian Happ. So what you had was the Pirates with a Chicago native homering for them, and the Cubs
Right.
with a Pittsburgh native homering for them. In the
What's
first
he from,
inning.
Mount Lebanon?
Yeah, Mount Lebanon.
Okay.
You worked hard to put that together.
Not really.
No? It just dawned on you.
Because they kept. It seems like anytime they bring up Sawinski, it's like the Chicago kid, And anytime Ian Happ shows up, it's like, oh, yeah, right, he's from Pittsburgh because that's what Pittsburghers do. It's like, he's from here.
Oh, right.
That's exactly what they do. Well, Pittsburghers / Western Pennsylvanians.
Right.
If Kenny Pickett's any good, that'll be his legend because he's from here. But he's not even really from
No.
here.
No, he's not from here.
No, he's not
from
from
New.
Well,
he's
he went to college.
Was it New Jersey? Is that where
He's
he's
from New Jersey.
Yes.
I would say 30% of the people in Tennessee actually believe Peyton Manning's from Tennessee. Even though
That's
he's
right.
not.
He's not. He's from.
He's not, but
Miss-
he's a Tennessee guy. So I mean,
And didn't his brother go to like Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Well, his dad went. Dad went to Ole Miss,
Okay. That makes a lot of sense then.
and then whatever. The nephew's going to Texas.
Oh yeah, Arch Manning.
Oh.
The highest sought after college recruit since what was that movie? Johnny Football. Remember that one?
Yeah,
You know
I know.
that movie?
I know what movie you're talking about. It's the guy from 16 Candles
Yeah,
and The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I
Very
can't-
corny movie. It was good to watch. Probably more reality there. They making fun of it, and today that's probably a little bit more realistic of what really happens to these guys who get recruited. You go to college and they just really do everything. You're just treated like royalty if you're Johnny Football
Yeah.
or Archie Manning.
Anthony Michael Hall. That's who it was. Had to look that one up.
He fell off. I don't know whatever happened to him. He was in some good movies. Weird Science, right? The list could probably go on. I guess we gotta get to break.
Yes, we do.
No one's called. Joel said he might call. I had a few people that said they were going to call, unless you're just not seeing them call in, Matt. No call.
No, I'm not seeing him.
Is he
Somebody
throwing you under
call
the
in.
bus, Matt?
Somebody call in. Tell us.
Probably throw me on the bus a little bit.
Somebody call in. We want to talk to somebody tonight. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. You're listening to 99.3 FM WBVP and 95.7 WNBA. BeaverCountyRadio.com and Facebook Live. When we come back, I know I said I wouldn't watch it, but I did. And now I got to talk about it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Lynx and the golf and Canada, because it was just moving. So stay where you're at, and we'll be right back.
TEK Roofing Specialist are known for quality, honesty, and efficiency. You can reach them at 412-969-1167. Whether it's a small leak or a new roof, TEK Roofing Specialist will fix the problem. Check out TEK Roofing on Facebook to see quality work they've done. TEK Roofing uses only the best products like TAMKO's Titan XT Premium Shingles with a 160-mile-per-hour wind warranty. That's TEK Roofing Specialist, 412-969-1167. Insured, licensed, and certified.
Whatever you need, wherever you need us. With 3 hospitals, 7 medical neighborhoods, and many community satellite facilities, Heritage Valley Health System has your medical needs covered. Heritage Valley has a long-standing reputation for providing the finest health care in our service area. For a full listing of our services and physicians, please visit heritagevalley.org. When you need first-rate health care, there's a Heritage Valley facility nearby. Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life.
Beaver County Radio and the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company are teaming up to present Cruisin' on the Ridge, a series of car cruises during our 75th summer celebration that will be held the third Saturday of every month from 12 to 5 p.m. at the new Beaver County Radio studios. The first cruise featuring the Dawn Savage Band will be on June the 17th, and it will be a grand opening celebration at the new studio location at 4301 Dutch Ridge Road in Brighton Township. There will be a live Beaver County Radio broadcast, food trucks, prize giveaways, raffles, and 2 50/50s. The 3 other cruise dates are July the 15th, August the 19th, and September the 16th. They'll also be held at the new studio location. Cruisin' the Ridge is being brought to you by Patriot Home Care, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Circle of Friends, the Ambridge Italian Villa, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Town Square Restaurant, the Standard Restaurant, TL Ferguson Building and Landscaping Supply, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, the Bell Bridal, Junction Auto, the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, and Beaver County Radio.
So, when it comes to a shingle performing in high winds, what's more important, the sealant or the nail line? With Titan XT, it doesn't matter. You get one of the toughest nail line reinforcements available with TAMKO's proprietary anchor lock layer, combined with one of the best shingle sealants on the market with Titan XT's advanced fusion sealant, which inspired an industry-first WindGuard warranty that offers coverage up to 160 miles per hour. Learn more about Titan XT, designed with extreme technology to perform under extreme conditions at tamco.com/TitanXT.
Hey, Peanuts!
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show. Brought to you by St. Barnabas here at 99.3 WBVP and 95.7 WNBA. BeaverCountyRadio.com and Facebook Live. Call in. We have one more segment here. I'm definitely down to taking a caller at 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. And don't forget TEK Roofing for your roofing needs. I know I'm giving you a bunch of numbers here. 412-969-1167. If you missed that, just go on Facebook Live. The sign's right behind me. Just got to click on videos.
Yeah.
Take you right there. So last week I said I wouldn't watch golf. I'm still standing my ground. Don't like the people making the money. The Canadian Open's a little different. So is the U.S. Open. They're not a PGA event or a LIV event. They are a USGA event. So, and the Canadian Open is kind of like the Masters, but they are FedEx. So you saw the FedEx sign. And so felt a little better about watching it, and I'm glad I did, because it is the event that probably saved golf this year, because what a moving thing to see. I have never seen so many people on a golf course like I did, all cheering for their country. It had almost a Ryder Cup feel to it, all because Nick Taylor was Canadian. No one's won that thing from Canada in 69 years. And he carried a nation to 4 playoff holes against Tommy Fleetwood, who was playing pretty decent golf till the playoff.
Yeah.
He kind of messed up. He had it to win in regulation. He was going to win it, and he somehow pulled off the tie. They went to and then they went to playoff hole.
What hole did they start on?
They did, well, in the playoffs, they did 18, 18. Then they jumped over to 9, and then they went back to 18.
Okay.
And so the last time they went back to 18, it's a par 5. Nick got it on the green in 2. Tommy did not. He laid up because the drive was off. And then he pitched it. His third shot, he pitched it probably within a makeable putt for the birdie. It was I'd say a 12-footer. And Nick was 72 feet out. And he never made one that long in his entire career. This guy's been playing on the tour a while. He's won a couple of tournaments and made the longest putt in front of all those people. It was rainy. The greens were changing. And just so you know, on the way over here, I didn't have time, but I had time that I drive by my golf course, Fox Run, over here in Beaver Falls area. And I haven't played golf since I saw the thing. And I went to the practice putting thing, and I walked off 72 feet. And I set 3 balls up there.
You got your binoculars
and
out
then
and saw the hole?
I tried to make one from 72 feet. I tried 22 times, and I did not make one. And I guarantee you, their practice green is nothing compared to what they were playing, what Nick Taylor was playing.
No.
Just to give you an idea, and I play a lot of golf, so I mean it's not like I'm a great putter or even a PGA Tour pro, but that being said, I had 22 shots of the same shot, reading the green, reading the thing, and he made it in front with all that pressure, and it just was amazing. The funny part, I guess if you didn't see it, his buddy, the other Canadian, was coming on to celebrate with him. Oh, what the heck was his name? I'm drawing a blank. But he was going to celebrate. He had a bottle of champagne. As soon as he made the putt, he comes running out on the green, and security tackled him like he was Polamalu. Like Polamalu came out and said, "No, you're going backwards." And that was, I forgot the guy's name. Was a good player too. Anyhow, if you know, you know, as they say. And I guess that's all I want to say about golf. I'm still making my stand. The information we had last week was very vague. They're still coming out with more information about this so-called merger/not merger. And so I guess Adam Hadwin, that was his name.
Yes. Had to look that up, but yes, it's Adam Hadwin.
I appreciate that.
Matt's always on the ball.
He is.
I don't think we'd be doing
it's
well
funny.
without Matt.
I Googled the Canadian Open, then I re-Googled it to fill out the rest of it. I was going to put champagne, but then I saw tackle. I was like, that works.
Tackle works.
If you see it, it's pretty gruesome. But I mean, he's a pretty athletic golfer looking guy, so I imagine he took the hit pretty good. But it was like he got tackled, like laid out, like he was the naked guy at a soccer match. You know what I mean? Trying to run across.
Who was the blonde girl that ran around and like was grabbing outfielders' butts like Johnny Damon or somebody?
She was the kissing bandit or whatever. Okay. What was that? What was her name? She was from like 70s and 80s, right?
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I have to look that one up too. I know who you're talking about. She was famous.
Maybe I was thinking about what's the girl from the Boston Red Sox movie?
Oh,
she jumped down from E.T. What's the girl's name?
Right.
Oh, Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah, maybe I was thinking Drew Barrymore, and Johnny Damon was in center field during the movie.
That would make sense.
You need to phone home.
Jeez.
So I know you're itching. He has poison ivy. I know you're itching to talk about basketball because you predicted it. Me and Matt were wrong. We said 6 games. You said 5. So this is the second or third thing you've been correct on.
Here's the deal. We should be doing a financial advice show with how much my predictions have been on.
Okay.
I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I said back in March that the Penguins would get Kyle Dubas.
You said you wanted him to get him. You think they should go after him? They should get
Matt,
him.
we need to check those records. I'm pretty sure I said they're going to get him.
Okay.
And even if he said wanted to, I mean, that's close enough.
That's close enough.
Right.
And because you don't know anybody down there at the organization to have it. You know,
no, it's not like insider
they leaked,
information.
right. No one leaked you information and you secretly put it on our show.
Right. So when the NBA Finals started, we said our predictions, and I believe Matt and Scott said Denver in 6.
I did say Denver in 6.
And
I did too.
I called it Denver in 5, even though I was going to root against myself because I'm the hugest Jimmy Butler fan. But it turns out Nikola Jokic, what a class act he is.
Yeah.
He wins. He doesn't go to his teammates and celebrates. He goes to the losing team and has a few words with each player, probably congratulating them on their great season.
Which had to have been polarizing, I imagine. Because there's a part of you that just like, dude, you just beat me. Just go celebrate.
Right.
And at the same time, it's like, oh, this is nice. You know, he's a nice guy.
It reminds me of the Carson Palmer story where he was running one in and Troy Polamalu like just smeared him right before he got into the end zone, and Polamalu messed up Carson Palmer's shoulder for the rest of his career. Palmer fumbled it, and Polamalu recovered it, and so Palmer's all upset at the end of the game. They lose, and Troy comes up to him and is like, "Oh, you know, how's the family? How's everything?" He's like, you want to be mad at the guy, but he's just so nice. So you know,
well, we don't know either. Too. It's not like they were mic'd up. For all we know, Jokic was going over there going, "Hey, I know you tried to elbow me in the nose 3 times and break 3 of my ribs, but guess what? I'm still going on with the trophy, punk."
I don't think anybody tried to hurt him.
We don't know what he said to him because it wasn't like they were like happily hugging him back. So we don't know. Right. That could be a Jokic move. Like, hey, I'm going to casually just tell you I won.
They did win. They were just too tall, too good at
You have
shooting.
to tip your hat to the Heat. They had a great season. Basketball's weird. You can have a great season and stink the next year because they trade every time you turn around.
Right.
We're going to create a super team.
Well, Denver's been doing it the right way, so it's nice to see them win. The Milwaukee Bucks won 2 years ago, doing it the right way, drafting and keeping your team together. None of this super team stuff. And Denver's done the same thing. You know.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee was #1 team this year. They just got upset.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler just destroyed them.
Yeah. And once upon a time, a lot of people forget, Golden State did that.
Right.
Absolutely. The first time around when they won their first championship, they were all homegrown. Then they got Kevin Durant and everything got screwed up.
And then they went back to homegrown, and then they won again.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to see what they're going to do next year, but I'm a Golden State fan. I just like Curry. I just think he's class act too. To me, I think he's a stand-up guy. I could be wrong because I don't know.
What's his golf show called? Holy Moly!
Holy
Yeah.
moly. That's a fun show to watch too. He does a lot of charity work for kids in golf.
That's good.
And basketball. I think he's sponsoring, I don't know, they said that he goes and seeks out talent and sponsors them and puts them up. There's a story on it. All right, so we're going to get down. We got enough time to talk about the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of talent, absolutely. I mean,
And speaking of my predictions being way off, I had Panthers in 7, and I was way off.
I did not see that the defense from the Panthers was just non-existent.
They were gassed. They were done.
Right.
And they left Bobrovsky out to dry.
They did.
The one game they won, Bobrovsky had an amazing game.
He did.
And that was the one game I watched him full. I guess I should have watched them all, but I didn't watch them all.
Yeah. No, they pulled him in.
That was a good game.
They pulled him in game 2 because they shelled him. And last night he got shelled even worse.
Right.
Wow.
After a great postseason run for him, and then to end that way is just that's awful.
Yeah, he lets in 8 goals.
And Vegas was just, their defense was just swarming.
Oh, yeah.
And like, if I could think of the exact opposite defense from the Penguins, it would be the Vegas Golden Knights. They're big, and they play the right way. They don't just give up goofy odd man breaks. And
who's the gangster that founded Vegas?
The gangster?
Yeah, founded Vegas.
Oh, the actual person who founded the city of Las Vegas? Let me see. Founder of
Marilyn Monroe was in the movie. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was weird to see last night just how dominant it was. A lot of people were comparing it, talking about the Penguins, to the Penguins winning in '91 when they blanked the North Stars 8-0 in Game 6. And last night was 9-3.
It's just somehow you just see that they were the 8th seed.
I'm trying to think back
finally came out
when they were trying to sell the concept of Vegas. The guys going back to New York or Chicago and going, look, guys, I'm telling you, we're going to build a city here, and one day we're going to have the World Hockey Championship in the middle of the desert here. And that's their first professional championship.
In their 6th season.
Is hockey. It's just so weird to me.
Yeah.
10
years ago, there were no teams in Las Vegas. Now there might be 3, and one of them has a championship.
Correct. Right. I think there will be. I think Oakland's going. Right. And that's who's going.
I think Oakland's probably going to be going. So.
Right.
I think it's a good move for them.
Yeah.
Just because San Francisco and Oakland are so close, they don't need to have 2 teams. Oakland's really,
if they go
Oakland.
and then Major League Baseball expands, they'll go back to Oakland. I mean, the fans are there.
Right. So it'd be like a Cleveland Browns move, so to speak. The city will put together a team and buy it back, type of thing. On an expansion move,
right?
They'll take it to the Supreme Court.
They're just faithful,
right?
Yeah, and hopefully by that time they'll have a new stadium to play in instead of the caverns of the old Oco Coliseum.
Yeah,
we had 2 ex-Penguins.
2 ex-Penguins, Phil Kessel and Teddy Bluger.
Phil Kessel has now 3 Stanley Cup rings.
Stanley Cups.
So he's basically on the same page as Sidney Crosby. When you talk about achievements in hockey,
yes.
Doesn't Robert Horry have
if you're a Michael Jordan fan,
titles?
You can't argue with me because we count rings.
There will be no Robert Horry slander in this establishment.
You're a big fan?
I like Robert Horry. I'm not like the world's biggest fan. I mean, that shot he had in 2002 against the Kings.
He makes big shots.
Big shot Bob. That's exactly what it is. Big shot Bob. So I don't know. Kessel's great, and I do hope he makes the Hall of Fame. I think he will.
Yeah.
But he's not Sidney Crosby.
Right.
Well, I mean, and we were talking about it earlier. He wasn't. A lot of people didn't like it. He just didn't come across as a friendly person, which I don't think you need to be a hockey player.
He's
What
almost
did you
like
say? What was the quote you told me? He said when Sidney Crosby, when they first met, they said something. And he said, Phil Kessel told Crosby, "Do you know who I am?" Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are. Do you know who I am? I'm Phil
Right.
Kessel.
Yeah. I almost feel like him and Jokic kind of have the same vibes, except Jokic is much more talented for his sport than Kessel is for his.
But they have such a great game plan.
Yeah, they both have the
Denver.
working man's mentality.
It was almost it was to me, it reminded me of a little bit of the way the Spurs won their championships, being fundamental. Of course, the end of the game, that last game, it got sloppy in Miami's end. They just got sloppy with passes. It got like they were desperate.
Yeah.
When they were winning the whole game and they were playing the same
Weren't they up by
fundamental
like
game.
so many points too?
Yeah,
They
like
definitely
10?
had a 10-point lead.
It was 10. I think that was the most I saw.
Butler missed that three. He had 14 points in a row to get him within 2, and then he missed that 3. It was an ill-advised shot.
I am excited about one thing. I realized this morning. I realized this. I mean, I know there's a lot of sports out there, but team sports, there's only one right now. Thank goodness, right? It's baseball. We don't have to talk about hockey. We don't have to worry about basketball. We just focus on baseball, and I'm a big baseball fan. The Pirates deserve our attention. There's plenty to talk about, and I think if you get a chance next week, take advantage of the cheap tickets that they're offering. Let's go out there, see McCutcheon on his 2 for $22 ticket deal. I think is the deal. I'm going to the day game. I like the day games better, just because I'm old and I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Before the night games are over. Guess we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Looking forward
Time flies.
Probably looking forward to next week. We're going to be in a new studio.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Next week.
Feel honored to be in this building. A lot of history was made here. I always look back at this time of being here as fun for me.
Yeah.
And but I am looking forward to it. We're going to have a car show, you said, 12 to 5 on
Cruising
Saturday.
the Ridge.
On
Come
this
on out.
Saturday. So come
This
out and
Saturday.
check that out. Go out to Jus1More Sports Bar. Call TEK Roofing. You've been listening to 99.3 FM WBVP, 95.7 WNBA, brought to you by St. Barnabas and Beaver County Radio, Facebook Live. Take them out of time.
Yes.
We're almost out of breath. You guys have a great night. Drive safe.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WNBA Ambridge.
A date. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering